Good morning students. Students, today we will revise the chapter Combustion and Flame. In this chapter, first I will introduce you with the term combustion. A chemical process in which a substance reacts with oxygen to produce heat and light is called combustion. The substance that undergoes combustion is called a combustible substance or fuel. Now, fuels are of three types: solid fuel, liquid fuel and gaseous fuel. The examples of solid fuels are coal and wood, and examples of liquid fuel are petrol and diesel, and gaseous fuel are CNG and LPG. During the combustion, light is given off either in the form of flame or of a glow. The substance which vaporizes during burning gives flames. There are three different zones of flame: dark zone, luminous zone and non-luminous zone. Now, we will do an activity to understand the process of combustion. Hold a piece of paper with pair of tongs. Bring it near the burning candle. We will find paper burns with a flame. It means burning is a chemical change and heat is released during burning. Now, students, what are combustible substances? The substances that can burn or catch fire are called combustible substances. For example, wood, paper, coal, cloth and magnesium ribbon. Students, as we have learnt in previous lesson that magnesium ribbon, when burns in the presence of oxygen, it produces heat and light. What type of light? A white dazzling light is produced. Now, students, what are non-combustible substances? The substances that do not burn or catch fire are called non-combustible substances. For example, clay, glass, stone, etc. Now, what are necessary conditions for combustion? The three necessary conditions for combustion are: first is combustible substance or fuel, and second is presence of air or oxygen. Air is also called supporter of combustion, as air helps in burning. Without air, no substance can burn. Third is attainment of ignition temperature. What is ignition temperature? It is the minimum temperature at which substance catch fire. If substance do not reach its ignition temperature, it will not catch fire. The ignition temperature of phosphorus is 35 degrees centigrade, and below this temperature phosphorus will not burn. Now students, we will do this activity which shows that how air affects on the burning substances. Fix a lighted candle on table. Put a glass chimney over the candle and rest it on a few wooden blocks in such a way that air can enter the chimney. Observe what happens to the flame. Now, remove the blocks and let the chimney rest on the table. Again observe the flame. Finally, put a glass plate over the chimney. Watch the flame again. We find that for combustion, air is necessary. The candle burns freely in case 1, when air can enter the chimney from below. In case 2, when air does not enter the chimney from below, flame flickers and produce what it produces? Smoke. In case 3, the flame finally goes off because the air is not available. It means amount of air affects the burning. Now students, we will learn how do we control fire. As we have seen that for combustion to take place, we require oxygen from air, ignition temperature and a combustible substance. It is represented as a fire triangle. In order to fight fire, one or more the following would be helpful. First, we should remove the combustible substance. Second, we should cut off the supply of air. Third, we should cool down the combustible substance below its ignition temperature. Now students, we will learn how water helps to extinguish the fire. Water is one of the most common fire extinguishing agent. It works by removing heat and oxygen from fire triangle. Now we will do an activity. Take some water in paper cup. Heat it over a flame. Paper cup does not catch fire because water in the cup reduces the temperature of paper cup below its ignition temperature, and so the paper cup does not catch fire. Now we will learn how carbon dioxide works to extinguish the fire. Carbon dioxide is very good fire extinguisher. It works by taking away oxygen and heat from fire triangle. Carbon dioxide is non-flammable gas and is heavier than oxygen. It therefore covers the fire like a blanket and results in cutting off the contact between combustible substance and oxygen. In carbon dioxide fire extinguisher, carbon dioxide gas is filled and stored as liquid under high pressure. When released, carbon dioxide shoots out and expands enormously in volume. There is another way to extinguish fire. If the clothes of a person catch fire, a blanket must be wrapped immediately on his body. This cuts the supply of oxygen and helps in extinguish the fire. Now we will study about types of combustion. There are 4 types of combustion. First is incomplete combustion. When enough oxygen is not present for a fuel to burn, the process of combustion remains incomplete. Fuel gives out a yellow flame having a low temperature. Yellow flame leaves behind black residue, also called soot. Second is complete combustion. When a fuel burns in sufficient supply of oxygen, complete combustion of fuel takes place. Due to complete combustion, fuel burns with blue flame. The temperature of blue flame is higher and does not leave behind black residue. Now, third type of combustion is rapid combustion. It is commonly observed that on bringing a burning matchstick or a lighter near a gas stove, when it is in on position, the gas burns very rapidly. Heat and light are also produced. This type of combustion is called rapid combustion. Sometimes, along with heat and light, a large volume of gas is produced during rapid combustion. This sudden release of large volume of gas may create large pressure that produces a large noise. This is called explosion. Now, fourth type of combustion is spontaneous combustion. Sometimes a substance suddenly bursts into flames without any external source of ignition. Such combustion is called spontaneous combustion. Example is forest fire. Now we will study about different zones of a candle flame. The first one is inner zone, also called dark zone. This zone is dark black in color. This zone consists of unburnt wax vapor. This zone is least hot and it has temperature of about 800 to 1000 degree. Now second zone is middle zone, also called luminous zone. This is the zone where wax vapor starts burning. Here the flame is yellowish as the oxygen is not available in plenty in this region. The wax vapor does not burn completely. The temperature here is about 1200 degree. Third is outer zone, also called non-luminous zone. This is the zone where wax vapor burn completely as oxygen is available in plenty in this region. The flame here is blue in color and non-luminous. The temperature here is very high, about 1400 degree. Now we will study about a fuel. A fuel is a substance that can be burned in the presence of air to give out heat and energy. Fuel can be solid, liquid or gas. Examples are coal, petrol and biogas. Now we will study the characteristics of a good fuel. The fuel should be easy to store and transport. It should not be expensive and it should be readily available. It should not produce harmful gases on burning and should not leave behind any ash or residue. Fuel should have high calorific value and ignition temperature of the fuel should be above the room temperature. Now we will understand what is calorific value. Students, different fuels produce different amount of heat. Quantity of heat produced by complete burning of 1 kg of fuel is called its calorific value and it is expressed in kilojoule per kilogram. Now we will study the calorific value of some fuels. The calorific value of cow dung cake is 6,000 to 8,000. For wood it is 17,000 to 20,000. For coal 25,000 to 33,000. For petrol, kerosene and diesel it is same, it is 45,000 kilojoule per kilogram. And for methane it is 50,000. For CNG it is also 50,000. For LPG it is 55,000 kilojoule per kilogram. For biogas it is 35,000 to 40,000 kilojoule per kilogram. For hydrogen the calorific value is very high, it is 1,50,000. But we cannot use this gas at home. We cannot use this gas for domestic purpose because it is a highly inflammable gas. Now we will study the effect of fuel on the environment. The burning of fuel affects the environment in many ways. First is acid rain. Burning of coal in power plants and factories produce gases like nitrogen dioxide and sulfur dioxide. These gases with oxygen present in air to form their oxides like nitrogen trioxide and sulfur trioxide. These dissolve in rainwater to form nitric acid and sulfuric acid and fall down to earth as acid rain. This can have serious effect on soil, trees, monuments, buildings and water in lakes and ponds. Now second is global warming. Burning of fossil fuel release carbon dioxide gas in air. Carbon dioxide gas can trap heat. More the amount of carbon dioxide gas in atmosphere, more the heat is trapped. And this causes the temperature of atmosphere of Earth to rise, which leads to melting of ice caps and which may cause the sea level to rise, causing floods. Now students, what can be done to save our environment? Use of public transport in cities should be encouraged. Less polluting fuels such as CNG should be used in vehicles. Vehicles should be fitted with catalytic converters. It converts harmful carbon monoxide to carbon dioxide and nitrogen monoxide to nitrogen dioxide and water before releasing the exhaust into the air. Less polluting energy resources like solar energy and wind energy should be encouraged. I hope now you have understood the lesson. Thank you and have a nice day.